Well, apparently I know nothing about football. Alright folks, welcome back to week 5?
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
Chamesh, for you Jewish people in the audience.
What does that mean?
It's number 5.
Chamesh?
Chamesh, yeah?
I can't say it with the...
No, with the chach.
Yeah.
And then you got cinco, for you Spanish-speaking people.
Yeah.
So let's go into you watched Thursday's or you followed Thursday's game, correct?
Oh yeah, what a game!
Yeah, I didn't go into Thursday's game, but let's a couple of things. Let's go over a couple of things first, and then we'll go into the games. Okay?
Sure.
Last week on the show, when we were doing our spread picks, I said that watch this next week. You were looking up at the sky, rolling your eyes, and you said that I was wrong and all this other garbage. And for about 3.5 quarters, I was right on target. And then the bottom fell out, and you were right. It ended up being you were right. And you took the Titans, the home dog, you say, plus 4 or 4.5 or whatever it was, and they ended up coming back in overtime and winning. After the Eagles couldn't stop them, 3 fourth-down conversions in overtime, after they took the lead in overtime, after they blew a 17-3 lead. So, congratulations, I'm eating crow. Yeah. And let's go to the first game, even though the Vikings-Rams were the first game of the week. Yeah. Let's go to the Pats-Dolphins game.
Okay.
Okay. So, last week I annihilated the Patriots. Maybe one of them saw it, and they decided, oh, we can't have this guy be angry at us. So what is, and look, it's one game. I'll be max, no, that was 2 in a row.
But just like
Detroit and the one before.
But just like Detroit was one game.
It wasn't. It was 2 games in a row. Detroit was the culmination of the second game in a row.
But it was different. Jacksonville was different.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, the Patriots were up 7-0 at one point. Mclovein comes in and tells the Pats are up. I say, oh, really? And I look at the phone, all of a sudden it's 14-0. And then I think it was 17-0 at one point.
It was 27-0.
Yeah, yeah. And then it was 38-0.
Yeah.
So, look, Sony Michel, over 100 yards rushing. Josh Gordon played, and that might have had something to do with it, not so much the statistics, but the fact that he opened up the field, or people had to respect that, deep threat, whatever. The Dolphins played like probably the worst game I've ever seen the Dolphins play in Foxborough. Usually, if they do beat us, it's usually in Miami.
Always.
Look, 38-7. Defense played amazing. Tannehill, I think, threw on. This is Tannehill's stat line. And again, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Brady had 3 touchdowns. Yep. He had 2 interceptions, though, I think. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. So let's go right on into this game. So, yeah, 2 interceptions. Un-Brady-like. His QBR was only 79.8. But Tannehill, 11 of 20, 100 yards passing, 1 interception, got sacked twice for 19 yards. Yeah. His QBR was 3.5, his overall rating 47.9. And Osweiler, we hardly knew you. He comes in, 4 or 5, 35 yards, threw a touchdown in garbage time, 99.8 QBR. If Brock Osweiler played the whole game, it would have been a game. Let's see, Frank Gore had 41 yards rushing. I think he's now 5th all-time. If I'm not mistaken, or 4th all-time. It's one of the 2.
I think I would have to say, I think it's 4th.
4th or 5th. It's one of them, yeah. I can't even believe, because if you think of the top 3, you think of, it's Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, and there's one other guy.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, that's what it is, right? Yards, rise.
I think.
Okay, we'll find out. But then it's Frank Gore. Yeah. It's like Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Mickey Mantle, and Joe Schmo. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, not Frank Gore's Joe Schmo, but it's, you think of names. you don't think of Frank Gore being 4th all time. It's unbelievable.
I know Frank. You know, for my 7 years, Frank was there the whole time. When he was a rookie, he was a 3rd round draft pick. They got him in the 3rd round. Scott Mclovein took him in the 3rd round because he had an ACL or MCL on both knees, and it was a steal. And you know, you know who I can kind of compare it to is like a Craig Biggio. Okay, Craig Biggio played 20 plus years, and he got over 3,000 hits. But Craig Biggio was never like, oh my God, Craig Biggio.
Sure.
Frank Gore has never been I don't think has ever led the league in rushing yards or rushing touchdowns. His just longevity has allowed him to play. Now I think 2005 was his rookie year, I want to say. So what is that, 14 years in the league? And very rarely these days will a back play that long in this era. You see guys playing well for 3 or 4 years, and then they get banged up, and you never hear from them again.
So look, at the end of the day, Michelle, by the way, 112 yards on the ground.
25 carries.
25 carries, great job. Miami has a tough defense.
2 touchdowns or 1 touchdown?
1 touchdown. Miami's a decent defense, so, you know, it's not like he was running all over, Arizona here.
Sure.
James White, 68 yards receiving, got more into the game plan. He also had 8 carries for 44 yards.
Yep.
So he touched the ball 16 times, and the target was 16, 17 times a game is what everybody wanted.
Yep.
He hit his 16. Dorsett, 4 receptions, 55 yards, had an unbelievable catch on a touchdown pass, did a flip or something I heard.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was at work, didn't see the game. And Cordero Patterson, 3 receptions, 54 yards. He could turn into a Rashae Caldwell type of guy with 1 touchdown. So, look, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Amendola, Miami, 2 receptions, 21 yards. Kenny Stills, 3 receptions, 4. Unbelievable. Let's see what... look, they're playing the Colts. That should be a walk in the park here Thursday night.
I think they're going to absolutely destroy...
Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
I think it's going to be
ugly.
A 40-point game.
Yeah,
I don't see this being... I mean, look, you know, we talked about this and we said, you know what, New England is not who we thought they were or anything. The defense is garbage. Brady has no weapons, and that was all truth. But I think I said this maybe the first or second show but the last 3, 4, 5 years, they've started off 2-2 or 3-2 or 2-1, and for some reason... There's always that one game, it's almost like the ultimate wake-up call, and then they come out, guns a-blazing. Now, with that being said, they should absolutely destroy the Colts. But then is a true test. They have Kansas City coming in.
Yeah.
And then they have, if you look at the schedule after Indianapolis, it's going to be a test. I think they have Green Bay. They have some other teams on there that it's going to be a test for 3 or 4 straight weeks. So I expect them to pick up right where they left off against Miami in a short week. Gronkowski's got an ankle. We'll see if he's going to play. But Edelman's back.
Edelman's back. Now there was a report today on EEI where they don't think he's going to play as much as you would think he would play. It's a short week. He hasn't. Belichick was quoted as saying that he doesn't. Look, we can only expect what we can expect. It's a difference between running laps and doing sit-ups and actually playing football.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I don't think they're going to rush him in. It's not like they need to rush him in for the playoffs here. Sure. It's a fucking Colts team that's garbage. But let's go into the Rams-Vikings game. Hell of a game Thursday night. Back and forth affair. At halftime, the Rams were up 28-20.
Yeah.
And then it was 30-28.
Yeah.
And, it was 38-28. And then in the fourth quarter, the Vikings could only muster a field goal. Jared Goff, 465 yards, 5 touchdowns against a good Minnesota defense.
Yeah, it went up and down. It was a track meet. Goff connected with, I think, Woods had, 109 yards.
Cup, 162, 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
And then...
Gurley.
And then our old friend, hardly knew you, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
They could use him right now. And then Minnesota, Diggs and Thien and Rudolph and, everybody and their mother, as far as the fantasy, that was an ultimate fantasy football type
That was
game.
a fucking fantasy football orgasmic session.
Correct.
You leave in that game and you got to change your shorts.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened there.
And now the Rams are. I think the Rams may go undefeated. That's my. I think they're the best team in football. Kansas City is right up there, but Minnesota. What is Minnesota now? 1-2-1.
1-2-1. But here's the thing about Minnesota. Kirk Cousins has played great, and in reality, I think they signed him to that deal. Case Keenum's no slouch. They probably could have signed Case Keenum and got the same production. The offense hasn't been the issue.
No.
The defense has been atrocious.
Yeah.
And it's not because one guy went insane, or Everson Griffin. Everson Griffin goes insane, the whole defense falls apart. I don't really buy that. Terrible game. Bengals come back in overtime.
Yes. Against the Falcons.
Against the Falcons. I'm telling you right now, I think the season's done for them.
No.
You told me no.
No.
You told me no.
No,
they're 1-3.
Yeah.
It's tough. Bengals are now 3-1. Dalton played great. Ryan played great. 419 yards, 3 touchdowns, 29-39.
Correct.
Julio Jones, not to be confused with Julio Gomez on the site black.com, but 9 receptions, 173 yards.
Well, I think when we've been talking about Cincinnati. They're 3-1 right now, and I think that they're the best team in the North and AFC North. Baltimore's right there. They went into Pittsburgh. We still don't know who Pittsburgh is yet, but Pittsburgh is like sluggish.
It's almost like they don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be there.
Correct. Yeah, no one's happy. Bell's not playing.
Coming back week 7 or 8.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if that happens. But Cincinnati is playing some good football, and Atlanta has now lost 2 games in a row where they've been up late in the fourth quarter.
7 seconds remaining to tie the game.
Who?
Cincinnati. Dalton, AJ Green. Oh, yeah. 7 seconds remaining. Yeah,
They scored to win the game. In the prior week, Atlanta had New Orleans beat twice, and New Orleans came back and beat them. So, and both games were at home, which is a big shock. So maybe Atlanta's done. I still think they have too much firepower to be counted out. I think that NFC South is always you never know who you're going to see. New Orleans started out, they looked like they were extremely overrated. Now they've come around, and now they're 3-1, I believe. But after the game they should have lost against Cleveland, and then they get their ass kicked by Tampa Bay. But with that being said, I think Cincinnati is the best 4-quarter team right now in the North, and but that North, they'll just beat the shit out of each other.
So, speaking of beating the shit out of somebody, I had Tampa plus 10, and I think last week I said there's no way Chicago wins the game, or if they do, it's going to be close. I forget what I said. Well, I said this is what I said. Chicago's offense is terrible, is what I said. It's horrible. And at that point, we didn't think, Fitzpatrick, even though he lost the 3rd game of the year, he still threw for over 400 yards. I think Khalil Mack has made that defense feel invincible.
Correct.
Just his presence has made everybody, not his talent, his presence.
And his talent.
Well, sure, his talent, but I'm talking about just, we got Khalil Mack. All of a sudden, 48-10, Dirk Cutters, as quoted as saying, you might as well fire me. That was atrocious out there. Trubisky, 6 touchdowns, 5 in the first half.
Yeah.
Tariq Cohen, 121 yards receiving. The game, another close battle with 2 garbage teams. And when I say garbage, Detroit beat us. So what does that make us? But the Cowboys at home squeaked out a win against the Lions. 26-24. Brett Maher, never heard of the guy, but he kicked the winning field goal. So Fat Matt Patricia is now 1-3.
Yeah, both those teams you can just
horrible.
You can eliminate them. Neither of those teams are making the playoffs.
No.
Neither.
Speaking of a team who's not making the playoffs, the Buffalo Bills.
No.
They get shut out. Go to Green Bay, get shut out 22-0. I thought it'd be a letdown game, and it sure was. Rodgers was quoted as saying we played terrible on offense.
Yep.
Even though they shut him out, it was really the defense that did it. Rodgers, 298 yards, 1 touchdown. His accuracy was horrific, 22 of 40.
Terrible.
Another terrible game, and we talked about this in the opener. Eagles lose to the Titans in overtime. The Titans, who I made fun of. You know what? Good for Mike Vrabel. He somehow has his team playing 3 more. Again, this is the Milwaukee Bucks of football, the Tennessee Titans.
I think they're better than the Milwaukee Bucks. I know your point.
Yeah, sure.
That they're in every game and
Sure.
whatever, but they've won some. They've beat. I mean, it's not like
They beat Jacksonville. They beat Philly. Yeah, I mean,
It's not like they're being in schlubs.
Sure.
You know,
I got to give them credit.
Their only loss was to Miami in Week 1. You know,
in Week 1, anything can happen in Week 1.
Correct, but you know that game was all but over.
17-3.
Yeah, I thought that game was done. In the Eagle and you know the 4th down conversions, but you know to go in and I think they went down the 3 in overtime, and then they came back.
Titans did, yeah.
And then they came back and you know scored the touchdown. So look, I know Andy doesn't like the Titans. I think they're a good football team. They're one of the better football teams in the AFC. I think if they were to play New England right now, they'd beat New England. But I think that, you know, that division is pretty much theirs to lose, unless you think Houston's going to come out of nowhere.
You mean who, the Titans?
Well, they're in with Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
I think it's Jacksonville's divisional win. But it's interesting, the Titans have the tiebreaker right now. And that's providing the Titans have the same record as Jacksonville at the end of the year. You know who will not have the same record as Jacksonville at the end of the year? The Texans and the Colts.
Yeah.
The Texans, I called it. They won last week. It took overtime, but they won. This is and Locke played great. 464 yards, 4 touchdowns. Again, fantasy football person's dream. DeAndre Hopkins for the Texans had 169 yards. But Watson played well. This is the Deshaun Watson that I thought in Week 1 we would see.
Yeah.
And we didn't. But 29 of 42, 375 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah.
But the yards were there. The accuracy was there. He threw for a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Texans get their first win of the year for bald Bill O'Brien with his cleft chin. We talked about the Pats. Now we're going to talk about the Jaguars, who could score 6 points against the Titans, but against the Jets, the lowly Jets, with Todd Bowles just standing on the sideline looking like he doesn't even know how he got there. 31-12 at home. And this is an interesting game, an interesting thing. And we were watching this game because Schilling there had Jacksonville and Jets under 39.5. And it was 37 for eternity.
Yep.
And the Jaguars had the ball.
Yep.
And on like the 20-yard line or whatever. And they could have just kneeled. They didn't kneel.
No, it was closer than that.
17-yard line, I think it was. First and 10 to the 17.
They had first and goal from the 8.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, they called back to the 17.
Then it was 3rd and goal from, and there was like 5 seconds left, and Jacksonville called timeout. The game could have been over.
Correct.
And they ran one more play.
One more play to get a touchdown.
Yeldon ran it in for a touchdown.
Yep.
And maybe, I don't know, there's...
Well, what's-his-face was quoted as saying to Marone, the play call called for that based on the packages we had out there, and the special teams unit was banged up.
Stick it to something.
That's why supposedly the rumor is Marone got passed up for the Jets job, and when it went to Todd Bowles.
I got you.
And that's the rumor.
Well, that makes sense.
They can't prove it, but
that makes sense.
Yeah. And then when Marone left Buffalo, when he said screw Buffalo, he wanted to go to the Jets, and the Jets picked Todd Bowles instead of him.
Well, for the Jets fans out there, if we have any Jets fans, but
we do. Jennifer McGoldilocks there.
Oh, Goldilocks! After Week 1, everyone in the Jets were like, "Whoa, we might have a team here," and then the Jets became the Jets. And
sure.
I don't know who you think is gonna finish worse, the Bills or the Jets?
I think the Bills. I think the Bills. It'd be tough.
Yeah.
Comment in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to finish worse, the Bills or the Jets?
I think the Jets are.
Well, here's the deal. The Raiders got their first win of the year. Poor Cleveland. They could be 3-0 and said they're 1-2-1. They put up 42 points and lose. Carr, 437 yards, 4 touchdowns. It took all of 58 throws to get there. Marshawn Lynch, 20 carries, 130 yards. He's had a quiet season. He's been there, the production's been there, but nobody really talks about him. Mari Cooper on Oakland, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. And Oakland in overtime beat Cleveland after Cleveland had 2 chances. They were up like 10 with 2 minutes left and lost.
A couple times, yeah.
Seahawks get a win. I picked them, and they barely won against the lowly Arizona Cardinals and Steve Wilkes, 20-17. That's how bad Seattle is. Josh Rosen, somebody commented in the comment section below, I think it was Jennifer Lynn Goldilocks, said Josh Rosen was going to light it up. That never happened.
No.
Unless you call 15 of 27, 180 yards and 1 touchdown lighting it up.
No.
Saints demolished the Giants. I was quoted last week as saying I think the Saints are going to blow them out, and for a while it was close. It was 12-7 at the half.
Because it was 4 field goals. It was the Saints were marching one by one. Yeah, the Saints come marching in, and they were marching all over the field. They just weren't putting it in the end zone, and then finally. Kamara, I don't know who did Kamara have 2 or 3
Kamara, 19 carries, 134 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Kamara just, and the last one was like 58, 60 yards. So the Saints, they're only going to get better. Ingram's coming off with a 4-game suspension. And, maybe your Super Bowl pick, maybe
the Saints,
coming back to life.
Coming back to life.
So we'll see.
You know who's not coming back to life after that Garoppolo injury? The 49ers.
No.
I mean, for one point they did. Beathard had a hell of a game till the end when he threw it away. But Chargers come back. I can't even believe it was this close. I picked them minus 10.5. You said, oh boy, that's a big spread. No way. 49ers plus 10.5, and there you go. That's why Mclovein's beating me for the spread. We'll go over that later.
Were the Niners up like 17-6 or 17?
49ers after one were up 14-6, but at the half they were up 7. No, they were tied 17-17.
No, but they were up 17-6 at one point.
Oh, maybe they were. Maybe they
were. And then
sure.
in the third quarter, they made it a game. They took the lead.
So it was
27-26.
It was so after 3, it was 26-24 Chargers.
And then the Niners kicked the field goal.
Kicked the field goal.
27-26.
Correct. Chargers came back.
And then what's his name threw it? It was like they were marching down the field, and it was like 1st and goal, and he threw a pick, and the guy ran it back
Beathard.
threw it to like the 18-yard line. He almost took it to the house.
Well, you know who didn't take it to the house? Nobody on the Steelers. They lose 26-14. It was tied at halftime. You thought it was a good game, and then Pittsburgh said, "Fuck it, we don't want to play in the second half. Fuck this shit." And now the Ravens are 3. The Baltimore Ravens are 3-1. But see, here's the thing. That's not, to me. I could be wrong. I think it's a fake 3-1.
Well, it's not anytime you.
Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. It is not a dangerous 3-1.
No, but they're 3-1. I mean,
sure.
Who did they beat? Pittsburgh. They beat Denver at home, and they beat Cleveland. No. Who was their
I'll
third?
tell you right now. I'll tell you what happened here.
Buffalo. They kicked the crap out of Buffalo.
Week 1, 47-3.
Yeah, and then
they lost to the Bengals.
Okay.
34-23. Bengals are a good team this year. They beat Denver and they beat Pittsburgh. Both they were at home against Denver, not in Denver.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then so that was the Sunday night game, right? And then the Monday night game, close game the whole way through, but the Chiefs pulled it out.
Well,
Mahomes had a winning drive.
It wasn't. I guess
Denver was up. Denver was up 21-13.
It was worse than that. I think they were
20-13.
Yeah,
excuse me.
and then they
20-13. So it's a touchdown.
I think it was 23-13. No,
it would have been 23-13.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then they came back. And scored two touchdowns.
touchdowns.
One of them, I don't know if you saw the highlight. He flipped it with his left
hand. Yeah.
The guys,
guys that dare cheater of football.
Well, let's be patient. I was 4 games in, but I think he's the MVP right now. Unless you can think of somebody on the Rams, but I think Mahomes is the top guy right now, and he's not showing any signs of slowing down. And that the West, the AFC West is, I would say, it's signed, sealed, and delivered for Kansas City.
So this is interesting. By the way, the Redskins and Panthers had buys that week. This is interesting. This is on ESPN's website, okay? And I know how you like football inside deals. Mike Triplett talked about, this is 2 hours ago, talked about Sean Payton. No. Oh, yeah, he might be a former. Is Mike Triplett a former official?
I think so.
ESPN staff writer. Well,
maybe
no,
not.
That's Jeff Triplett. You're thinking of Jeff Triplett. So Sean Payton spoke in more detail about his belief that the NFL office tried to have him fired after the Bountygate scandal in 2012.
Well, he should have been fired.
And said Roger Goodell's punishments of him and the Saints were, quote, foolish during a lengthy interview for an upcoming episode of In Depth with Graham Bensinger. Payton had previously mentioned his belief that the NFL wanted him fired, but he specified with Bensinger that late Saints owner Tom Benson told him he had gotten calls from 2 other NFL owners encouraging him to do so. Payton didn't name the 2 owners, but he said he made a point to track them down at a league event after a season-long suspension to, quote, thank them for their support.
Well,
Payton compared the NFL to, quote, a large political party with an agenda and said the accusations against the Saints were, quote, brutal and, quote, rigged.
no. Well, first of all, Sean Payton needs to relax. I mean, it's documented. They have everything on film. And the reason I remember this is because the whole thing came to fruition when against the Niners. And they specifically had a meeting with Greg Williams, who was the fall guy. You know, take this guy's legs out, you get $15,000 or something like that. And just like anything else, Payton claimed he didn't know anything about it, which I think is absolute bullshit. The head coach of the team, just like Joe Paterno and Sandusky and all these other,
And all the touches.
they know. If you're the director or if you're the manager or if you're the head coach, you know everything that's going on. I don't care. Because guess what? There's leaks. Every head coach, every person that runs it, he doesn't have his eyes and ears everywhere, but he has somebody that hears what people are saying and comes back. Sean Payton needs to just keep his mouth shut. He's lucky he wasn't fired. He's lucky. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think the NFL is just like the mob. You know, all the money stays at the top and they're corrupt and everything like that. We know that firsthand as Patriot fans. It's a witch hunt. I think Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis he's a fall guy. He got suspended for I think a full year, the GM at the time. But Sean Payton needs to just relax and keep his mouth shut.
Well, Sean Payton says, looky here. So speaking of looky here, this is interesting. This is from Rich Cimini, also ESPN. I think he writes for the Jets. I'm not positive. But he's talking about Isaiah Crowell.
Yep.
Isaiah Crowell. Did you hear about this?
No.
Isaiah Crowell doesn't get it, he says. He doesn't understand that profiting from his butt wipe endorsement deal is a bad look for the Jets and Todd Bowles. While Crowell says, quote, he didn't mean any disrespect to anybody, he's basically making light of something that resulted in a rebuke from his coach. Bowles reiterated his disapproval of the butt-wiping touchdown celebration. He guaranteed no player will, in capital letters, ever do that again, but added he can't control which products players choose to endorse. He should have benched him for a quarter against Jacksonville.
Oh, come on.
While some might commend Crowell for his business savvy, he continues to put himself above the team. Before speaking to reporters Wednesday, he excused himself to go to the bathroom. Seriously, again, he doesn't get it. So, there you go.
Well, I mean, this is what they're writing about the Jets right now. Look, Crowell, whatever, he's an idiot. We all know he's an idiot, but suspend the guy a quarter. Give me a break. Come on. It's football.
It's football! Like Schilling would say. What the... All right, so... updated standings. Now, shout out to Vadix. And before we get into the updated standings, let's read a couple of questions people have asked us.
Or comments.
Yeah, well, if my thing will load here,
I saw a couple comments
which it won't. So let's see here.
that said I was a homer.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
When someone, because I thought Brady was an elite quarterback, and that Manning.
Was that what is that the debate? We had the debate. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Seems like 1,000 years ago.
Seems
Okay.
like 1,000 years ago.
So here we go. So let's see what we got here. Skins Tribe. Okay, Vadix again. And I'm just going to, when I read some of these comments, Vadix hilarious. All right. Yes, anything is cool, awesome. I did the updated standings. I knew I forgot something, and it's to check to see if you ended up getting that extra gift card. I'll look for that. I'll tell you that right now. Now, let's see. Dexter's Pop. Nope, nothing there. Where are we here? Ryan Stokes, no. Patrick Kufer, no. No. Robomas, no. You have nothing. Where are we? We had some stuff. Oops. Hold on 1 second, folks. We got nothing there. Again, with the stupid thing. I got to show you PJ Dustin Wallace's
I was
Cali
looking
guy.
for that.
Yeah, it's a link in last week's video. Or 2 weeks ago's video.
I still was looking for it. I couldn't find it.
I'll try to link it to you.
Okay, I want to see.
I'll try to show it to you.
See what it's doing.
Yeah, so right now, unfortunately, all I'm getting are the picks. I'm not getting to the point where everybody was asking questions. All right, so here we go. I'm going to shout out Eagle, I. Listen to the part on week 2's video, made me crack up. Lots of laughs. It's just I 3 times. Since Eagle, I, and 2 Eagle 2 were taken, haha. Made it for Xbox Live. Gamertag 3 Eagle 3. I, Eagle,
I have no idea what you
Hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. I do. Okay. All right. Jennifer Lynn, she's picking Cardinals. Reason Josh Rose is going to light it up. That didn't happen. David Johnson asked, Andy and Mclovein, who do you expect to win the NFC East this year? Well, we had our picks earlier in the year, and I picked the Giants, stupidly. So that was my pick.
And I picked the team that's in first place.
Which is who?
The Redskins.
The Redskins. What are they, 2-1?
2-1.
Yeah. So, all right, McLovin picked the Redskins, David Johnson, I picked the Giants, and right now I look like an idiot. And he looks like a genius. Dan McLean, I wouldn't jump the gun on Kansas City because their defense has been pedestrian at best. They've given up 28 to San Diego, 37 to Pittsburgh, and 27 to San Francisco. Also, Jacksonville lost to Tennessee, so I wouldn't rush to say either of them are clear-cut favorites to win the AFC just yet. Well, we were joking about Tennessee winning the AFC. There's no way Tennessee wins the AFC, is there?
I wouldn't say no way. I mean, if they keep on playing the football they're playing, then who's saying there? I'll say this: there is no way the Bills will win the AFC.
Okay.
There is no way the Jets will win the AFC. There is no way the Houston Texans will win the AFC.
Okay.
I can't say there's no way the Tennessee Titans will. I mean,
all right, well, this is the Homer comment. Here we go. He actually called himself a Homer, by the way.
And I thought he called me a
He
Homer.
did, but he also called himself. It wasn't like he was insulting you. Well, he might have, but here's what it is. Dan McLean, being from New England and putting the Homer in me aside, like McLovin should do too.
Correct.
Yeah. Peyton Manning is elite regardless of who he is throwing to. He is a top 5 QB of all time, period.
Well, this is all I have to say is, look, okay, we're never going to know. We're never going to know because we can't go back in time and give Peyton Manning Tom Brady's receivers when they were absolutely garbage, and we'll never know how Brady would have been with Peyton Manning's receivers. Either way, I don't believe Peyton Manning would be who he would be without the weapons that he was surrounded his entire career. That's the bottom line.
All right. Yes to anything that is cool, awesome. I've been saying this for over a decade. This is the NFL. Everyone is fast. Everyone has talent. Every team has a potential to win because of this. It should come to no one's surprise that going into week number 3, the worst team, the Bills, beat one of the ranked. I like 99.99999997835% of us thought the Vikings would easily ragdoll the Bills. However, again, this being the NFL where everyone is talented, everyone's fast, professional athletes, etc. The Bills did precisely that to the Vikings. This was unexpected but not surprised.
I think unexpected is surprise.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same word?
Correct. Dan McLean says, I don't know about you, but I definitely was surprised by it. So
when you have a surprise party, it's an unexpected party, right? It's the same thing.
Correct.
So
correct. Yeah, I'm with you.
No matter what anyone says, and yes, it's everyone's fast, and that's what makes people different in the NFL. And agreed. But at the same time, no one thought ever in a million years, and it wasn't just surprise. It was a shock.
Sure.
That happened. So.
Leo Roth, this is Vadek's comments. You just made it in time. I'm talking maybe 3 seconds before I commented that picks are closed. That's funny. Brent Howard, I didn't see any of your picks during weeks 1, 2, or 3 either, says Vadek's. And Brent's like, yeah, I miss those due to military field operations. Shake my head. Well, that sucks. But thank you for your service, Brent Howard.
Sure.
Stephen Wolf puts his picks in. Vadek's. But you weren't in weeks 1 or 2, so the picks aren't valid, he says to him.
Oh, my God.
GC, no, this guy's awesome. GC, I may have missed this in one of the videos. Oh, what does GCW mean? Obviously, that's gift cards 1. J18 Sanchez Jr., this is a hilarious tit for tat. J18 Sanchez Jr. goes, I'm 21, 25, and 2 going into week 4. These are my picks. I said, no, you're not. I've said multiple times ties or losses. He says, okay, my bad, haha, I'm 21 and 27. Thanks for letting me know. Vadix goes, based on what I checked, all comments to the past 3-week videos, and I've never seen you comment on any of your picks. He goes, dude, I have comments on all 3 videos. I just checked. They are there. Check again because I just saw them right there, question mark.
Yeah.
Vadix goes, at J18 Sanchez Jr., check again, but last night I went through all 3 videos cataloging everybody's name who put their picks in on time, and I don't remember ever seeing your username. J18 Sanchez Jr. says, Vadix99, wow, so you're kicking me out because they're there? I checked 3 times and they are on time. Vadix99 says that J18 Sanchez Jr., wow, calm down. I just said I double check if they're there. You're fine. He says, okay, thanks. So that's pretty cool. What else was going on here? Let's see.
We have a hell of a gatekeeper.
Oh yeah, and Dodd's appreciative of stuff like that.
Oh, Dodd knows hard work. Dodd has been working hard since he was 10 years old.
Vadix,
he appreciates that.
Vadix says to be Menyo. Again, you're not even in the standings. You're wasting your fucking time with your stupid ass comments. Tommy 3000, poor Tommy 3000. Been in an airplane the last 2 days. Hopefully this doesn't eliminate me.
Was he in Manifest?
That's a good question. That'd be 5.5 years. It does eliminate you. You commented after I said that kickoff had begun and that picks are closed. Now, Tommy 3000, here's my question to you, man. How on earth are you in a plane for 2 straight days? I mean, the only way that could happen is if literally you're in the air, hanging in the air for 2 days. There's no way a plane... Now, unless you're literally saying that you're in a plane, you fly... You land, you immediately rush to your next stop, get on that plane.
No, but you're off the plane.
But you're off the plane. But let's pretend for a moment, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he literally had no time to put his picks in because he had to rush to get onto the next plane. You're still at that point on the plane, and you do have cell service.
Right.
So you can easily put it in.
10 to 15 minutes before the flight,
sure.
And then 10 to 15 minutes
after the flight when you're landing.
Sure.
So I don't know about that.
I don't...
yeah.
Look... I've heard of being in the airport. I've been in an airport for a couple of days.
Sure.
You know, stranded.
But in an airplane for 48 hours?
In an airplane, I think you may have watched Manifest.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
episodes 1 and 2, which is a phenomenal show.
Yeah, and this is coming from Mclovein, who really doesn't like unrealistic shit. So that's
but it's
pretty
not
cool.
that it's not unrealistic.
Yes, it is. You're telling me that it's realistic that a plane gets hung in the air for 5.5 years?
It's not...
And to them, it's like it's normal time, but 5.5 years is fast.
But this is the key to the ball game: is there's no, it wasn't taken over by sea monsters, and then they went down and blah blah blah.
So sea monsters are more ridiculous than aliens or angels or whatever.
Angels, demons, sea monsters.
Those are okay. No, that's the same thing. Sea monsters and angels. You're telling me they're different?
No.
Okay.
They're the same.
So what happened to the plane?
We don't know. They're going to tell us. But you have to watch a second episode.
But what happened? What happened? I will, and don't spoil it. But what happens if it was angels? What happens if it was God? What happens if it was
watching it?
Okay. But what else could it be?
I don't know.
Realistically, what could it be?
I don't know.
I know you don't know, but would you agree that more likely than not, I'll use some Deflategate, more likely than not, it's unrealistic reason?
It's unrealistic what happened to the plane.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Correct.
But
and the people in age.
But the show is not like where they turn into werewolves whenever they're whenever they're adversity or something.
Okay. And for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, he's referring to the show Grimm, which I really liked. The ending was terrible.
Grimm was a good show. Yeah. It was a good show until they turned into like...
Well, that's the whole reason it's Grimm.
Like when the roots came out, and it all became like one big... And for like 45, 50 minutes of the show, it was a decent show until the Grimm came out.
All right, so let's take a look at the standings, guys. Vadix99, I've gotten a million of your emails. I literally have not had time to even check. I apologize. But off camera, I will get in touch with you, and I'll double check what you have against what I have. What I would do is keep week by week, just do it. And remember, folks, make sure that your picks are correct. Make sure that I have your record what it should be. Because if each of you individually comment and say this is wrong, I can then go back and take a look at that specific week or weeks. And I don't have to do it for everyone.
Where do I stand?
Well, you're gonna see the standings when they come on. But I don't know offhand.
But then you do this.
I did, but it's going to be uploaded. I don't have it open. Is my point. Sorry, man. You're going to have to like the rest of them. You're going to have to watch the standings.
11-4. I got to game some guys on.
Oh, you did. You did. You're in the upper probably 20, okay. 15, top 15. All right, guys, take a look at the standings, and here we go. All right, we're back, and let's go into the spread for this week. Mclovein has he went
9-4-1.
9-4-1 against the spread.
No.
You went. Here's what you went. You went 9-4-2.
9-4-2.
9-4-2 against the spread, and I went 7-6-2 against the spread. So you have a game lead on me. You are 21-23-3, and I'm 20-24-3. So that's the spread. So let's go right on into the new. I don't know where the hell my Post-it notes are, but here we go. Let's do the pink ones. The pink ones. And the first against the spread, we have AA, we have PM. The spread, Thursday night's game, we'll be over here eating some, no more Papagenos, we don't live in New England anymore, but we'll be over here eating some probably Domino's / maybe Zaxby's or McDonald's.
Well,
we'll
if
figure
it's
it out.
Zaxby's,
Zaxby's
that's a whole different story.
It's a whole deal.
It's better than anything else.
It is. I'd rather have Zaxby's than pizza.
Since I've been down here, Zaxby's and the A&W place.
Oh, A&W's orgasmic. The root beer floats. You want to touch yourself and drink.
Look,
I mean, you literally just want to fondle yourself drinking.
Dod's coming down with Franny Ballgame, and Franny Ballgame loves root beer floats.
Oh, well, me and Franny Ballgame got stuff in common.
Correct.
So, Colts 1-3, 1-1 on the road, going into New England, 2-2, undefeated at home, 2-0. Pats favored by 10.
New England -10.
Yeah, I agree. That should be an easy one, but watch them win by 9. All right, Sunday's games. Titans 3-1, 1-1 on the road, going into Buffalo. This is interesting. Buffalo 1-3, 0-1 at home. Tennessee favored by 3.5.
Tennessee -3.5.
Yeah. And watch Buffalo beat them. So I agree. Tennessee -3.5. All right. Miami 3-1, 1-1 on the road, going in to face Cincinnati 3-1, 1-0 at home. Cincinnati favored by 6.5.
Miami +6.5.
All right. I'm going to take Cincy. You have Miami +6.5.
Yeah.
Baltimore 3-1, 1-1 on the road, going in to face Cleveland 1-2-1, 1-0-1 at home. Baltimore favored by 3.
So it means that they have Baltimore as a 7-point or 6-point favorite with 3 points. That's gonna be a tough game. Give me Cleveland +3.
Taking Baltimore. Because at that point, you're literally a last-second field goal to win the game by 1, or you're just taking the team to win. Green Bay 2-1-1, 0-1 on the road, going in to face Detroit 1-3, 1-1 at home. Green Bay favored by 1. That's interesting. Also,
Green Bay -1.
Yeah, it's Green Bay to win basically. Jacksonville, unless they tie. Jacksonville 3-1, 1-0 on the road, going into Kansas City 4-0, 1-0 at home. That's really the game of the week, folks.
Yes.
Kansas City at home favored by 3. This is going to be good.
Kansas City -3.
I agree. I think they go to 5-0. It's going to be a close game, though.
Sure.
It'll probably win by 5 or 6. Denver 2-2, 0-1 on the road, going into face the lowly Jets 1-3, 0-1 at home. Sorry, Goldilocks. Jets favored by 1 at home against Denver.
They know something we don't. How on earth? I'm saying to myself, this is the easiest pick of the year, but for some reason, look.
You have to go with that.
I gotta go.
Yeah, and you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, Denver +1. All right. Atlanta 1-3, 0-1 on the road, going into Pittsburgh to face the Steelers 1-2-1, 0-2 at home. Pittsburgh favored by 3.
Atlanta +3.
I agree. Giants 1-3, 1-1 on the road, going in to face Carolina 2-1, undefeated at home at 2-0. Carolina favored by 7.
New York Giants +7.
Taking Carolina. They got demolished by New Orleans, and although Carolina doesn't have as good of an offense as New Orleans, it's still firepower. And they're home. Raiders 405 game. Raiders 1-3, 0-2 on the road, going in to face San Diego. Going in to face the LA Chargers 2-2, 1-1 at home. Chargers are favored by 5.
Give me the Raiders +5.
I'm also taking the Raiders +5. I think the Raiders are going to win the game. Vikings 425 game. Vikings 1-1, 0-1 on the road, going in to face the Eagles 2-2, undefeated at home at 2-0. Philly favored by 3.
Minnesota +3.
Yeah, I agree. Cardinals 0-4, 0-1 on the road, going in to face San Francisco 1-3, 1-0
what a
at
game.
home. San Francisco favored by 4.
Arizona +4.
Taking San Fran. Arizona's going to go to 0-5. Rams 4-0, 1-0 on the road, going into Seattle 2-2, 1-0 at home. Rams favored by 7.
Rams -7.
Yep. Sunday night game, Dallas 2-2, 0-2 on the road, going into Houston.
Oh, what a game!
Horrible.
Oh my God!
I mean, you can't. This is
That's like
TV.
watching. That's just like watching paint dry. What a terrible game!
Cowboys 2-2, 0-2 on the road, going into
God.
Houston 1-3, 0-1 at home. Houston favored by 3.5.
Dallas
I'm
+3.5.
taking Houston to win that. Dallas +3.5. You're saying?
Yeah.
And then Monday night's game. It's not as bad as Sundays, but it's also not great. I at least don't agree with it. Redskins 2-1, 1-0 on the road, going into New Orleans.
Oh, that's a great game.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Really? I think New Orleans is going to wipe the floor with them.
But that's a good game. Anytime you get New Orleans on,
All right, New Orleans versus the Colts. That's a great game.
no,
Anytime you get New Orleans on,
you didn't let me finish.
Okay, what were you going to say then?
Anytime you get New Orleans at home against a division, first place in their division, I think that's a good game.
They're 2-1. Okay, but anyway, Redskins 2-1, 1-0 on the road, going into New Orleans 3-1, 1-1 at home. Saints favored by 6.5.
Give me Washington +6.5.
Okay, I'm taking the Saints. So +6.5, right?
Yeah.
All right, EDP. It's Dod's favorite
That's
time.
time.
EDP445 coming at us with another video.
Dodd, myself, and Andy were all rooting for the Yankees tonight.
Not me.
You're not?
No, I'd rather face.
You'd rather
Oakland.
face Oakland?
Yeah. The Yankees scared the shit out of me, dude.
I don't know.
Oakland really, they do, but not as much as Oakland. I think Oakland's pitching, to me, even though they've been so good, they're not the same team that Sox faced. And to me, with all the has-beens that are unbelievable, to me it's like when the Sox beat the Cardinals in that 2004 World Series.
Oh, no.
Jeff Suppan and guys throwing 90.
But the thing I mean,
Oakland has some firepower.
But the
Oakland
thing
is Chris Davis and Matt Chapman. Other than that,
but the Red Sox are coming off the biggest comeback, and they were hot. And whoever they played from the National League, they're gonna whoop. 4.
I don't know about that. I remember reading article after article after article in the Herald and the Globe about how they're so lucky they're facing the Cardinals, because when every analytics matched up with everything, they had the Sox annihilating the Cardinals pitching staff. So we'll see. Preferably I'd rather face Oakland. If they face the Yankees, I'm scared to death of the Yankees. I really am.
Don't you want to finally see a Yankees Red Sox at least?
If I wasn't a fan of either team, absolutely. Me being a fan of the Sox and the fact that they have 108 wins and they set the team record, for them to go out in 4 games to the Yankees, I can see it happen. I can see them winning 7-6 games, because the Yankees bullpen is a hell of a lot better than the Red Sox bullpen. And here's the thing: Chris Sale, David Price, and Rick Porcello. No, listen to this: 0-6 combined in their careers in playoff starts. 0-6 with like a 7 ERA. I do not want to face the Yankees. I don't care. Unless you got Eovaldi going all the games in the fucking series. Okay? And I think Dodd would agree. We'll see. We'll see what he says. But I'm telling you right now, I'd rather face the A's. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. Like Bob Campagnus. It'll be a gauntlet just getting through the Yankees. No, it's all right, man. Hey, man, we got you went. What did you do last week? I had you down. You went 9-6 EDP, so you moved up in the standings.
You're saying, Doug, I'm loud as far as what did you say?
I said you went 9-6 last week. You 9-6. You're moving up in the standings. I went 10-5, and Mclovein went 11-4. So there's that. So let's go into these games, man. We got the Colts Thursday night. Colts going into New England. Who do you got?
Shit. Zach's Gordon playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck him, I'm taking the Colts.
So not only is Josh Gordon playing, so is Julian Edelman.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, I'm taking New England, man. Fuck that, dude.
All right, New England. All right, so then we got Tennessee going into Buffalo. Who do you got?
Fuck Tennessee. I'm taking Buffalo.
Tennessee.
All right, we're also taking Tennessee. Miami going into Cincinnati.
I'll take Miami.
Cincinnati.
Taking Cincinnati as well. EDP is Miami. Baltimore going into Cleveland.
Ooh.
Baltimore.
Oh, I'm taking Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Oh, I'm taking Baltimore. All right,
Robbed last week.
yeah, well, it's because their defense shit the bed. Green Bay going into Detroit with Fat Matt Patricia.
Oh, I'll take Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Once you heard Fat Matt Patricia, he's like, "Nah, I'm taking Green Bay." All right, we got Jacksonville going into Kansas City for the game of the week.
Oh, fuck.
That's the type of game you get pastrami fries from Leo's and you sit and watch it.
I'll take Kansas City.
Kansas City.
We all take Kansas City. We got Denver going into New York to face the Jets.
Denver.
Yeah, we all take Denver. Atlanta going in to face Pittsburgh.
Atlanta.
We all take Atlanta. The Giants going in to face Carolina.
Carolina.
I am going to take
No way.
the Giants.
Wow.
Yeah.
McLovin's taking the Giants. The New York Football Giants. All right, we got Oakland going in to face LA Chargers.
Oakland.
Chargers.
I also agree, EDP. I'm taking Oakland. Chargers barely beat San Francisco with their backup. You got Minnesota going in to face your Eagles. I can't imagine what this preview is going to look like. This will be one of the funniest videos of the year.
Minnesota.
Yeah. We all take Minnesota. Your Eagles let me down last week. The Eagles let you down last week. All right, then we got Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals going in to face the 49ers.
49ers.
Don't tell me you're taking Arizona.
That's a sad-ass fucking game.
It is a terrible game.
Are you taking... McLovin may be taking Arizona here. He's thinking about it. Yeah, this is something else.
Yeah, I'll take Arizona.
Wow, McLovin's taking Arizona to get the first win of the year.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, the Rams going in to face Seattle. Who do you got?
Seattle.
Wow.
Rams.
I think I know why. And then we got Dallas going into Houston.
You know what? Fuck that. I'll go back to the Rams and Seahawks. You know, I'm going to take a tie.
Okay, we'll put tie down. Dallas goes into Houston. Who do you got?
Houston.
Dallas.
I also have Houston EDP. Me and you were thinking alike this week. And then we got Washington going in to face New Orleans.
Washington.
All right, McLovin also took Washington. EDP, thanks a lot, man. We'll see you next week.
All right, man. Have a good one, bro.
All right. All right, guys, that's been week 5, and once again, fuck you.